All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mira. I am a computer science student at Dow. Some of you have been in my webinars before. It's great to see you again. And today we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence and doing a bit of Python coding. So we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, and then we're going to be coding. So this will just be a quick little presentation. I'm going to turn off my camera. So we're going to talk about AI. So what is AI? You might not know anything about AI. You might know all sorts of stuff about AI. Usually in media, AI is like robots that are intelligent as humans. But a more basic definition of what artificial intelligence is human-like decision-making that's displayed by robots. So that means they can react to the world around them and the inputs that go into them, just like people can. Yeah, so things like Siri and self-driving cars, they both take inputs from the people who are using them or the world around them if you're a car, and they can react based on that, and that's what makes it intelligent. But that's not the only thing that uses artificial intelligence. All of these things use artificial intelligence, Google search algorithms, GPS like Google Maps, targeted ads, the social media feeds you use, Touch ID, facial recognition, all sorts of crazy stuff. This is a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's actually not this crazy futuristic thing. It's all around us every day, on your phone, in your car, maybe. Here's a really cool example of something you can do with AI. There's a website called This Person Does Not Exist. You might have heard of it. So this person who you're looking at right now has been completely generated by AI. It's a fake person. They don't exist. It's just completely made up. I'm going to actually click on this website. All of these people who this website creates are completely fake. Oh, you can see for this one, there's like this sort of weird smudge on her nose because it's not perfect all the time, but it's really good. So AI can do all sorts of insane stuff. And there's 4 types of AI. This is more like a theoretical idea of the types of AI that there are. But there's 4 main types. It's reactive, limited memory, theory of the mind, and self-awareness. So reactive AI is your most basic level of AI. It could be in most programs, I would say, have this level of AI in them. Basically, the idea is you do something and then the AI reacts to what you do. So say you're playing tic-tac-toe with a computer. If the computer just randomly placed an X everywhere after your turn, then that wouldn't be AI. But reactive AI tic-tac-toe player would change the way the place that they put their X down based on where you put your O down. That's sort of how reactive works. The second type is the type that most AIs are. So like your Siri, your self-driving car, stuff like that. Basically, they have a small amount of memory, and they use that to make decisions. So instead of just making it right after you do something, they have a sort of backlog of things that they remember about you. For example, your Siri might remember, I don't know, your name. Like if I say, "Hi Google, what's my name?" Oh, she didn't want to reply. "Hey Google, what's my favorite color?"
I can only share personal information once I verify your voice.
How rude.
Try going to assistant settings, then checking your voice match settings.
This is my voice. Well, that didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out. I wanted it to say that my favorite color is yellow, which it did earlier when I tried this, but it has a limited memory. But yeah, things like Siri, things like targeted ads will remember the things you look up, and then they'll try to give you, they're like, "Oh, look, you looked up bread recipes. Want to buy this bread?" Stuff like that. Did I activate your Google Home? I'm so sorry. The last 2 are things that we haven't yet used before or developed before. It's the theory of the mind and self-awareness, type 3 and 4. Theory of the mind is if computers ever become smart enough to be able to understand emotions and things like that. To be able to say, oh, I am sad and you are happy. I am this and you are that. The idea that it like understands that it has a brain and emotions. And self-awareness is if a computer ever understands that it is a computer. So like it's kind of confusing, but if it gets self-aware to a point that it understands that it is not a human. The only thing about this is we don't know if we'll ever actually be able to get there. Like R2D2 is cool and all, and so is C3PO, but I don't know if we will ever really be able to make human-like computers in the future. For now, what we could do is make a computer that said that it was a human, or said that it was a computer, that said it understood things, but coding it directly to say, I'm happy and I know I'm a computer is not the same thing as it understanding it. But maybe someday we'll get there. It would be really hard. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk you through creating a AI of your own, but it will just be a reactive type, the easiest type. We're going to make it in Python. What we're going to do is make a game that guesses a number that's in your head. So between 1 and 100, you'll think of a number and it will guess and learn from your guesses to try to figure out what your number is. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop this for a second and send a link in the chat to this site, and open it here. So yeah, what you're going to do, I've zoomed in on mine so you can see it better, but just erase all of this stuff. You don't need anything in there. And the second thing you're going to do is go up to language in the top left corner, click on this little drop down button and select Python 3. It should be the 5th one down, just like this. So that is our first step, blank canvas, language, Python 3. So I'm going to take you through the process of coding this. Our first step, our very first line we're going to write in this Python window is the word import random, because this program is going to guess random numbers between 1 and 100, and then it's going to it's going to ask you whether it's that one. So our first step is import random, which will let us put in random numbers. And our next step, we're going to create 2 variables, which are going to represent numbers. I'm going to write the word minimum on one line and the word maximum. I'm going to make minimum equal 1 and maximum equal 100. And these are going to be what the random number is going to pick between. It's going to be between the numbers 1 and 100. And then on my next line, I will do this. I'm going to write the letter N equals. And then I'm going to write a long line, random dot RANDINT, which means random integer, which means random number. I'm going to put in round brackets, that's shift 9. And then I'm going to write minimum, comma, maximum. The word answer equals, and then just do I don't know, the letter N inside of quotation marks. This is going to be updated. So answer right now just is the letter N. It's just the word N. But we're going to update it to be the word that you put in when you're interacting with the program, because the program is going to ask you, is this your number? And you can say yes, no, and that's what answer is going to be. But for now, leaving it as N. I'm going to move on to another line. So what I'm going to do now is create a while loop. And a while loop is a block of code, and everything inside of it will repeat while something is true. So I'm going to write while, no, this doesn't sound like a word anymore. While answer and then I write exclamation equals, which means does not equal in coding language. And then quotation marks, yes. And then I need a colon. This is very important. You need to end this line with a little colon. It's just the shift button and next to the L. So what this will do, it says, well, the answer does not equal yes. So that means when the answer is yes, this piece of code will stop looping entirely. And then when you click enter at the end of this line, you should notice that this next line, for me it's line 9, starts in from this one. So if I start typing stuff, it'll be indented in. And this is by 1 tab. So it's really important in Python to keep things tabbed out correctly. All these lines are okay being on this line, but this next line we're going to code is going to be inside the while loop. And you need it to be up by 1 tab. But if you ever fall back down, you can always go back to where your colon is, click enter, and it should be tabbed out by 1. So next step, I'm going to write the word print and grab a little bracket, grab some quotation marks, and this is going to be a bit of a line to do. But we're going to write is and then space. That's all, is and then space. And then next to our little quotation mark here, we're going to do a plus sign, then another quotation mark. Oh, that's not a quotation mark. Another quotation mark. And we're going to write, oh, actually, that is not correct. I skipped ahead a second. We're going to write str, and then another bracket, and then inside that bracket, we're going to write the letter N. Another plus sign, another quotation marks this time, and then space your number. I'm going to leave this up for a second because it's a long line. What this will say, because right now it says is plus string plus your number, but what string represents, this means string, so it just is a word, and this N is this variable up here, this random number between 1 and 100. So when you start the program, it'll say is random number your number. And then it's going to say print quotation marks answer answer with yes, low, or high. So what this will do is whatever, 12 your number, answer with yes, low, or high. So if my number is 13 and it says 12, I would say it is low. Okay, our next line is just going to be the word answer. Oh, geez. Answer equals input. And then 2 brackets. So what this will do is input is the line in the little, it's going to be under here. You can see actually the word input. It's going to be in this little dialog box, so to let you type things in there. So what you type in is the input. So we're setting answer equal to what you type into the game. So that's going to be yes, low, or high. On our next line, we're going to write if answer equals equals. So that's 2 equal signs, this one. This one needs 2. If answer equals equals, and then in bracket or in quotation marks, we're going to write high. And then we need a colon right here. Very important. Got to put that colon in. So if answer equals equals high. Just like up here, if you click enter at the end of this if line, it should be tabbed up too, because now we are not only inside of a while loop, we are inside of an if statement. An if statement is basically what is going to be making our decisions. So this one is going to be, if the person answers high, we're going to do this. If the person answers low, we're going to do this. If they answer yes, we're going to do this. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of this program. So if answer equals high, and then click enter at the end of that line, we're going to write maximum, one more time, equals n minus 1. And then click enter one more time. You're going to want to go back to this long line from the beginning, the n equals random.randint. Select it, and you can copy it and paste it right there, right underneath this one. I don't want you to have to write it again. It's no point in writing it again because it's right up there. So this is what you should have now. So what this will do is it updates the maximum, because at the very beginning, you have it going between 1 and 100. But, for example, if the number you're thinking of in your head was 10, and the random number it selected was 20, you would type in, oh, that answer is high, so you'd write high. So when you write high, it changes the maximum from 100 to the number that it randomly selected before, so 20, minus 1. So instead of looking between 1 and 100 again for your number, it will look between 1 and 19 instead, because it said, well, 20 is too high. Why look all the way at 20? Why look at 100? I don't need that. It's too high. So this is where the actual AI comes in, because it's reacting to what you input into it. If you click enter at the end of this line that you just copied in, you'll still be on this double tab. So if you click backspace, it should take you to the same level as this if. See what I mean? You got inside the loop, you're up 2 spaces, but you want to be back up 1 space. And you want to write elif, which is just ELIF. Oof, why is this all the way at the bottom now? Let me space this up so you can see it. Elif answer, you can actually, here, this is easier. Copy all of this where it says answer equals high. Copy it and then paste it next to elif. Makes it a lot faster, so it should say elif answer equals high. You can change this, instead of saying high, to say low. So now you have if answer is high, else if answer is low. On your next line, we're going to be a little different from up here, so you're going to write minimum equals n plus 1. And then once again, copy this line and paste it. So yeah, now you've got if answer equals high, maximum, and minus 1. And random this whole line. Else if answer equals low, minimum, blah, blah, blah. So what this one does is it updates the minimum. The last one changed to the maximum. This one, say you're guessing 10 and it says 5. Instead of looking between 1 and 100, it'll change the minimum, so now it's looking between 6 and 100, because it knows that 6 is too low and it doesn't need anything below that. Our last line, or actually there are 2 lines. Our last 2 lines, we're going to once again, you can copy this entire row that says elif answer equals low. Just copy that and paste it, but you do need to make sure that these are all lined up 1 tab over. If, elif, elif. They're all in the same line. So elif answer equals low. That's what this one says, but we want to change it. Just the low part this time. And instead of saying low, you want it to say yes. Because that's, if you answer correctly, if it guesses your number, you want to say, yeah, that's my number. And then click enter, and you're just going to write the word print, and then in quotation marks, got it, or whatever you wanted to say when you win. Mine's going to say got it. And that is actually your whole code. So if you click the run button, it's in the top of your page. It's green, looks like this. If you click this screen on the bottom will turn black. And you can move it up and down by doing this. So before I actually click run, I'm going to guess a number. I'm going to say, I don't know, 12. I'm going to go 12. That's my number for today. I'm going to click run. So mine says, is 28 your number? Answer with yes, low, or high. And I'm going to say high. Then it goes down. It says, is 13 my number? And that's pretty close, but it is not 12. So I will say it is high. Oh, and it's 12 my number. It is. So I'm going to say yes. And it got it. It got it in 3. That was pretty good. When you answer the questions, when you type in yes, low, or high, you have to type it the exact way that you typed it in the code. So you can't say capital H, high, because it will get confused and it will just say the same number again. And you can't say high all caps, or if you misspell it and you just write something, it'll just keep repeating the same one over and over again. As you can see, I'm just like typing random stuff and it keeps asking me if 16 is my number. But if I write high, it should change. So you gotta make sure that you've spelled it the same way that it's written here. High, low, yes, all lowercase. So yeah, what makes this program reactive is these if-else statements, the high, low, yes, these ones right here. If it just guessed the number randomly every time, it wouldn't be an AI, because you could just have it have this and then just randomly choose a number every time. But that wouldn't really work, and it wouldn't be an AI at all, because it wouldn't be reacting to what you're doing. It would just be randomly throwing numbers at you. But yeah, this one can react and adapt to the things that you enter into it, which makes it a reactive AI. It doesn't have memory. It doesn't remember the numbers or the things you wrote in. It doesn't remember, oh, she said high 3 times, or oh, she said low or many times. Yeah, it's still an AI. But now you know how easy AI is to create. We just made this in mine's 20 lines long, and we made it in 20 minutes. It's that easy to make AI. So it really is everywhere. It's in most technologies you use. It's on your phone, it's on social media platforms, it's on YouTube, it's on your Roomba house. It's all over the place. So make sure you keep an eye out for the things around you that might be AI, because really, it's everywhere. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a good day. I hope your dreams are met. I hope you have a great week too, actually. But thank you all for coming.